So hi, my name is Chris, and this talk is about how to empower businesses to monitor the software more effectively. And I don't know if I'm the only one, but when I hear people speaking about OpenTelemetry observability, I feel like everything is like Chinese. So I'll try to make things more simpler, and no matter if you're in engineering or in business, you could get at least something valuable out of this talk. My inspiration for this talk is a quote from Ronnie Kohavi. He's an ex-VP at Microsoft. And in 2009, in a paper he wrote, he said that only 1 out of 3 features were actually improving key metrics at the business. And that's really scary because actually, at that moment, there was no Kubernetes, no OpenTelemetry, no monitoring tools, and he said that. And now that we have all of these tools, we're still shipping software based on intuition, deadlines, and we are guessing how our customers are feeling with our software. So the problem is that most of the time we look like this kitchen when we are making magic to satisfy our customers. And while full stack observability sounds pretty awesome with all the tools and everything the CNCF is giving you guys, only 10% of companies are actually implementing it in production. And the Elastic, the Grafana's of the market, the Dynatraces are actually struggling with implementing this software because most of them say that the customers are struggling with complexity, cost, and reporting barriers when they are investing in observability. And there's a trend, and is that every year our software is more complex to troubleshoot and debug. The MTTR is just in the rise with the course of the years, and as you know, every day our software is getting more complex, and if you're using Kubernetes to implement it, that could be the cause. So, one solution is something that I call the experiment loop. I know most of you guys are already using Scrum maybe for developing your products, but also we could implement in parallel another workflow where we are like an instrument-first workflow where we are ensuring that we are instrumenting, flagging, measuring, and deciding, letting the business decide if our features are actually giving value to our customers. And what we could accomplish with all of this is that our teams could experiment more safely, could roll out features more faster and efficiently, and we are ensuring that at the end of the day, our customers are happy. But we need a bunch of tools for all of this. For example, the first step will be to start instrumenting our code using OpenTelemetry through their SDKs, their auto instrumentation. Then use your favorite feature flagging backend, such as could be Flagger together with OpenFeature. Use a tool for releasing to enable more modern strategies, so it could be Argo rollouts, so we could have blue-green or canary deployments. And the most important part is measuring. Now instead of just guessing how our features are going in production, now we could track our KPIs or SLAs if they're affected when we are deploying into our environments. And then the retrospective part is when our product owners or our business departments are deciding whether things are going well or not through our dashboards or alerts. Also, it's worth to shout out that all of these tools are investing heavily in AI agents or chatbots that you could interact with them in human language. So you don't need to know Prometheus or how to build a Grafana dashboard from scratch. And for my developers, I would like to change the mindset. So I know most of the times we are building an API or maybe logging errors to the console, but I would like to think you guys something like if things are going wrong in our API, if they are 500 error, 404, wouldn't it be better if you guys think about, is this making our customer unhappy? Or what is, at the end, in the product itself, is it like provoking, or the orders are being returned, or we are having latency issues, or maybe there's an issue in our processes that we haven't identified yet. So everything should matter to both us and the customer. And these are just examples of KPIs that we could keep track of in a restaurant analogy. But I know it's hard to implement this from scratch if we have any monitoring. So the best thing is just to start small. I know a lot of you guys, if you are Kubernetes operators, you're maybe waking up in 3 in the morning or something like that. So if those things that are affecting your day-to-day work, just start with that into your team and then grow with a proof of concept that could benefit the rest of the business of your company, sorry. So if you want to take this way and build a proof of concept, you have to also consider that the goals of your department and the business one are not the same. Maybe if you are a Kubernetes operator, maybe you're worried about service availability, MTTD, MTTR, but the business departments are just talking about revenue, feature adoption, customer growth. So you need to translate those things that seem very well when you're implementing full stack observability into something that they could measure to see a return of investment. But this is not, if you're a developer, this is hard. So one recommendation is just find your business champion. Find someone that could bridge the gap between your engineering department and your business department, in the business department, so he could take your proof of concept as his success story. And he could promote your ideas, your metrics, or your dashboard that you could build on that could be relevant to those departments. Maybe it could be the marketing, the sales, the security, and they will be incentivized to invest in your tooling. Also, I have some use cases. This one is from Intuit, and something that worked for them is just measuring the FCIs, the failed customer interactions. So every time things are going wrong in their services, they know how things went wrong because they are capturing the context and what caused that error to come to their service. But most important, they could keep track of which are the features that are giving most amount of headaches to our customer, and they know in which features or services they need to invest more time refactoring or maybe re-architecting those solutions. And all of this could be translated into Prometheus metric, for example, as this example. The end goal is to have something that all of the Grafana's Dynatrace call full stack observability. So now we are not just considering the technical part when things are breaking in production. Now we have a 360 point of view when we are considering both the business, the user, the security, the application infrastructure. So if something breaks, now we could keep track or connect the dots with what's affecting in terms of business, security, application, and so on. There are a bunch of libraries and dashboards or examples that you could pull from any GitHub repository. This is one of them. For example, there are already in the Grafana dashboard catalog a lot of OpenTelemetry dashboards that are just tailor-made to your favorite programming language, or maybe just to keep track of traces, logs, and so on. And most importantly, is OpenTelemetry our serial bullet, so it will solve all the problems that we have currently in terms of observability. I think it's too early to say that, but something that's true is that it's one of the most promising projects that are incubating right now in the CNCF ecosystem. So any company that doesn't have implemented any observability solution should definitely give it a try right now. And also keep in mind that the language and feature support for some projects, for example, web development, are still limited. And there's the link for the status link where you could validate that. And the most important part is that tech is just a tool, and we're always solving problems for the business department. So we should always think about the customer first. Thanks. And these are some of the resources I used and got inspired for this talk.